when you actually stop and look at what Biden's doing with his super spreader coming out of Del Rio, Texas, we talked about that earlier this week. There were about 800 Haitians. Now, how in the hell they get here? Biden invited the Haitians, come to America. You can get a Democrat voter ID card, and all the free benefits that the taxpayers of America don't get. Today, what we see is an increase from 800 to over 14,000 people under the bridge. CBP and the government have shut down the international bridge between Del Rio, Texas, and Acuna, Texas. And basically what we've seen is an influx of the Haitians, huge. The Africans are coming right behind them. Now, how in the hell are these people getting here? Okay, just don't put a lot of thought into it, but just think about it for about that far. Okay, I got a plan. These guys are overshadowing the Mexicans, and I'm sure they're not real happy about that. You have the Mexican factor, San Salvadorians, Hondurans, Guatemalans, and I mean people from Yemen and every other damn place you can think of. Look, this isn't the U.S.-Mexico border anymore. It has become the U.S. world border because everybody else from the rest of the world is coming into America through Del Rio, Texas, on the Rio Grande, and McDowell, and on and on and on. I mean, they're walking across, just walking across. They're being apprehended. They're being processed. There's no COVID testing. There's no COVID vaccine. Look, since July, there's been over 200,000 a month. July, 200,000 August. Already, we're 200,000 in September, and we're not close to the end of the month. These guys, look, Biden wants to force you to have a vaccine. He wants you to be forced to have a booster shot, which doesn't work to begin with, okay? Look, real quickly, there's about 12 variations, plus or minus whatever it is. My number may not be right. I try to read all the science that I can get. But look, the vaccine's not working because of the variants. The boosters aren't working because of the variants. And the boosters aren't working anyway. And that is from the words of their own manufacturers. Just think about it. Think about it. I mean, this is so corrupt. But anyway, here's my plan. Biden needs to go ahead and deport these people. He wants to take the Haitians and fly them back to wherever the hell they came from, Haiti. Who knows? I don't know how they got here. It's kind of hard to backtrack and figure it out, unless you pull the fingernails out of the cartel people smugglers. But anyway, they don't have to fly them back to their own country. Look, the Biden administration is okay with leaving people behind the lines. They just proved it, Afghanistan. Okay, so here's my thought. Let's take these people and let's put them on the other side of the Mexican border. That's behind the lines. That's good enough. Leave them to Mexico. Mexico's been the catalyst from this whole border thing since the beginning. Let them deal with it. Let Mexico deal with it. They should have stopped this crap at their southern border. They could have. Mexico is run by the cartel. I've got a plan. Y'all are not going to like it. Oh, American taxpayers, you're going to love it. The administration, the Biden administration, not going to get it. We'll talk about that later on. So anyway, I just wonder, all these guys that are getting drug into the U.S. from Afghanistan. Look, there's over 60,000 people that have been evacuated. The bulk of them have come to America. There are some other countries that are taking them, and God love them for that. It's a scary deal. You know, I've said all along, we're going to be fighting Taliban in the streets in America. We're no safer than we were 20 years ago. The battle has yet to come. It's coming. Mark my words, as big as I'm sitting here, it's coming. We're going to fight ISIS again. We're going to fight Al-Qaeda again. We're going to fight the Taliban again. We're fighting Boko Haram in Somalia right now. They're in Africa, stealing schoolgirls, rape, pillage, and plunder. Come on. It's happening. It's happening right here on the homeland. In Biden, in the Pelosi, in all those in this administration, they're guilty of it. They're killing us. Man, I just don't get it. So I'm wondering, all the people that come in from Afghanistan, do they get the same dim voting card that the Mexicans and the other people get before they are shipped to a neighborhood near you? You think? Really? Okay. It's just, it's beyond me. Biden's mandates are taxing us, the taxpayers. The businesses are being forced out of business because of the vaccine mandates. Pay this, pay that. The economy on the increase, albeit the emergency relief is starting to dwindle. So, people are trying to go back to work that, have been taking advantage of Biden's stupidity while sitting on the couch. But you know what? We've been hearing F Biden from college football fans across the country. Look, it's not just the college football fans that are F Biden chanting. It's not. It's the bulk of America. But he believes the polls that his handlers are feeding him on the teleprompter. I think it's high time that we remind the GOP congressional representatives that the house that Pelosi lives in actually belongs to the people. It's the people's house. And the GOP that are sitting there, there are a few outstanding guys that are doing some good stuff, but the bulk of them, the GOP guys, are sitting there with their heads up their collective asses. They need to put a stop to the budgeting. Look, Congress holds the purse strings. Why aren't they doing anything? Why haven't they initiated charges against Pelosi and Schumer and Nadler and Adam Schiff in AOC, the Squad, Omar? What happened to Benghazi? What happened to Hillary Clinton? What happened to the emails? Nothing. You think anything's going to happen to Milley? Guess again, nothing. Anybody going to be held accountable, Blinken or anybody else from the State Department, about the crap that's going on in Afghanistan that is still going on? Who's responsible for giving the Taliban $86 billion worth of arms and ammunition, material, drones? There was, $174 million worth of drones that they're playing with now? Really? Somebody needs to be held accountable. And all the Dems are doing is building walls. Defund Biden and stop the crap. Pelosi needs the investigation as well. Then you got to roll over to AOC and the lavish lifestyles and look at Pelosi. How do you amass the millions that Pelosi has? What about Maxine Waters? The GOP is the only faction that can hold the Dems accountable for what they're doing currently, what they've done in the past, and what they're about to do September 27th. September 27th is coming. Why is that important? That's the day that Pelosi and her chumps are going to try to jam $3 trillion of a failed infrastructure bill, or whatever you want to call it, pork fat, down the American taxpayer's throat. You have to stop it. You can't let this pass. The $3.5 trillion turns into $5 trillion in the blink of an eye. And the bulk of it is all meaningless. All you're doing is supporting the Democratic move to socialism. That's all it is. You're hamstringing the American public, the American taxpayers. Put it this way, I believe that Biden, his handlers, and whoever's pulling the strings on the puppet and running the teleprompter needs a Freedom of Information Act. We need to find out, look, the GOP congressional reps, the senators, they know who's pulling the strings. Who's talking about it? Nobody. Not a single friggin' one of them will come up and say, this guy and this guy is responsible for what Biden's talking about. It's time to get the cat out of the bag. Who in the hell is running the country? Who is supposed to be handling, if we've got a vice president? I don't know. We have one in name. Nobody can remember her name. The last good thing we saw that she did, she was over playing patty cake with Newsom in California before the recall, giggling and carrying on, and with no mask, hugging, dancing, having a great time. Biden was over there patting Newsom on the back on what a great job he's done on California, running that in the ground. We need to build a wall right here in Arizona to keep Californians from coming to Arizona. I understand their ploy, but they're just like Mexicans. They don't like living in Mexico. So they come to America, and now they're trying to make America like Mexico. We don't need Californians making everything else like California. It's failed. It's Newsom's fault. And at the same time, he's on national TV applauding Biden for all the good works that he's done in Afghanistan. What a jackass. Where do these people come from? I don't get it. A Freedom of Information Act? Take forever to get that out, and whatever you get would be redacted. And I'm Don McDowell. This is the pragmatic view of the obvious.